Good morning again, girls. How are you? So we'll continue chapter 12. Lesson 5, multiply a fraction and a whole number. In the last lesson, as you know, we have learned how to multiply a unit of fraction, okay, with a whole number. Today, we will see how we multiply a fraction with a whole number. So what is the difference between the unit fraction in the last lesson and the fraction for today? Let me remind you what is the unit fraction. As you know, the unit fraction is the fraction that has 1 in the numerator, right? So when you have 1, it's a unit fraction. But about the others here, 5 out of 12, 6 out of 13, we don't have 1 in the numerator, so we have any other number. So these are fractions, okay? For sure, all of these fractions are less than 1, but the unit fraction only has 1 in the numerator, and this is the difference between the unit fraction and the fraction, right? So in this lesson, we will learn how to multiply these fractions with a whole number, right? Like 6 out of 13 multiply 7, for example. We will try to multiply them in the same steps. Look at here. Let's remember how we multiply a whole with a fraction, with a unit fraction, sorry. So as you see here, we have a unit fraction. How we multiplied it, we had 2 steps, as you remember. First step, we will put the denominator to write it as a fraction, multiply a fraction. I told you we should have both of them as fractions, okay? And the next step is to multiply the numerators together and the denominators together. So 5 multiply 1 is 5, and 1 multiply 3 is 3, right? So this is the way how we multiply a whole number with a unit fraction. The same thing, we will do it with a fraction. There's no difference. The same steps and same idea. Remember? We multiply numerators together and denominators together. Let's have, for example, 5 times 2 out of 13, for example, right? So how we multiply this? We will follow the same steps. We will just put the whole on a denominator to make it as a fraction. Then I will have both fractions. So 5 times 2 is 10. 1 times 13 is 13. So this is my fraction. I just want to tell you a note. Look at this fraction in the last final answer. 10 out of 13. The numerator should be less than denominator. It means that fraction should be, in the final answer, it should be less than 1. Always you should see the numerator less than the denominator, okay? Remember this note. As you see here, we have 4 and multiply 2/3. How we do this? Just follow the same steps. 4 out of 1. Then we will have numerators and denominators. So 4 multiply 2 is 8. Out of 1 multiply 3 is 3. This is my fraction. But look at here carefully. What can you notice here, girls? We can see that this fraction is improper. How did you know? Because the 8 is greater than the 3. So I can't leave this fraction in this way. I have to find the fraction in simplest form or lowest term, or the final answer should be in lowest term or simplest form. So this is not the last or final answer. Every time when you see an improper fraction, you should make it mixed number, and the mixed number will be the last answer. We shouldn't leave the fraction in the numerator, a number that is greater than denominator, right? This is the idea. So how we can change this into a mixed number? We just can do a long division. 8 divide 3, it's 2. 2 multiply 3 is 6. Then the leftover is 2. Remainder is 2. You should remember that this 2 is the whole, and the denominator, by the way, it's the same. We said it didn't change, okay? And and the remainder is the numerator. Right? So my answer is 2 and 2/3. This is the final answer. Okay? Girls, you can do it as a skip counting also, not long division. It's okay. Right? So 8 out of 3. You can just skip count from 3. So we can say 3 plus 3 is 6 plus 3 is 9. This is the other way how we can change it to a mixed number. So how many 3's we used? This is the whole number. And the denominator is 3. What about the numerator? The numerator is the leftover. How many we need? 3 multiplied 2 is 6. How many the 6 need to be 8? It's 2. Okay? So my answer 2 and 2/3. Look at here. Here we have 12, multiply 5 out of 6. The first step, we will put this on the denominator 1 because I want to make it as a fraction. So 12 multiply 5, 60. Out of 1 multiply 6 is 6. So 60 out of 6, it means 60 divide 6. What is it? 10. So my answer is 10. If you don't know the answer, just do long division. See, girls. Here is improper fraction, and this improper fraction should do a long division, or you should skip count to have it in a mixed number. But here we have whole because 60 divided 6 is 10. Look at the last example here. Wait. Okay. Look at this example. 3 multiply 3 out of 4. What does that mean? We will, first step, make it as a fraction. Then we will work with the numerators together. It will be 9. Denominators together, it will be 4. As you notice here, 9 out of 4 is improper fraction. I will not leave it like this way. I should change it to a mixed number because this is not the final answer. So I will do long division, or can we skip count? So the denominator stay the same. What about the whole number? How many 4 we need? 4 plus 4 plus 4. 4 and 4 is 8, and 4, 12. I can't use this one, so I will use 2 4's. So this is my whole number. So if I use 2 4's, I will have what? 8. How many the 8 need to be 9? It's 1. So this is my answer. Done? So the idea here is to multiply the numerators together and denominators together, and you just have to find the lowest term or simplify the last answer if you have an improper fraction. That's it for today. See you next time.